Alrighty, what is happening, people? I'm just going to walk through what I'm kind of expecting coming into today. Now, yesterday, very good outlook. We came and took this high on GBPUSD like we were expecting, and now we're kind of sitting in the middle of no man's land. So I'm going to continue to look to buy. If we look on the daily, really good liquidity sweep into this area. I would say we are more than likely going to sell, but until we kind of get those confirmations, for me, I'm not interested. On the 4 hour, like I said, we've taken this major high. We've come into this area of mitigation. We didn't quite feel where I wanted to feel. I more or less wanted to come up to here, but given we are where we are, I am expecting a sell-off. What I'm kind of wanting to see have happen is something like that. That's more ideal, but like I said, we can kind of fall off and come down that way. So we have taken a lot of liquidity. There has been lots of inducements. On the 15 minute, we just took a really important major high here. Really good demand to supply that sits internally in here. And now taking this, I'm expecting a bit of a fall off. So yesterday, like I said, we were going to come and take this high, which we have here, so I can remove that. What I might actually do is I'll mark this out as 4 hour. So that's the 4 hour high we've taken. Now I'm kind of expecting a bit of a fall off. So this area to me doesn't make sense to hold. What I'm more or less expecting is to push through here. So all I kind of need is some type of confirmations, maybe something like this, to then sell off of this area here, which would be quite nice. Until we get something like that, we have no 15-minute structure to work with. So buys are the more probable area at the moment, but this inducement is actually a lot, and I would expect it to at least come and take this low. So we're actually in an awful spot. This week has probably been the slowest week in a long time, which does suck. So GU, I'm at a little bit of a loss. I'll update you guys if anything comes on the Telegram, of course, but at the moment it's looking like a little bit of sit on your hands until tomorrow, or till late New York tonight with GU, but hopefully we can come and take this high, and I am open to selling off of this high, just continuing with some of that bearish momentum. If we do break this, I just don't see buyers. This is a valid point that did take liquidity, so this can buy off here. It's just we're so high in the range and we haven't taken anything of any substance. I would like to sell. Now EU is more or less the exact same. So if I jump on the 4 hour, like I said yesterday on EU, we're going to come to this area, funnily enough, exactly where we are. We're either going to melt or we're going to push higher and take this liquidity. So we're at that point of indecision. We have come into an area of supply to demand, which is quite clean, and we can kind of use that to see what the go is. So I'll mark this point out, this one here, which is a really nice point. Now we've come into here, I'm expecting a sell-off. I'm expecting some type of move off of this down to the 15 minute. What have we got? Not expecting this area to hold given the current confirmations, so I do want to sell into this area. This for me isn't a good enough inducement into mitigation either. What I would like to see is more or less price kind of come into here, come back up here, take this high, and then look to sell off of that high, building that liquidity. So in terms of buys, I don't see an area to buy at the moment. You've got a break here, really good area here. This area did just take liquidity, took some minor liquidity. That's not retest to me. We have no 15-minute structure to work with. There was no entries in here either. This was a really good spot to get in last night. There was just no entry. So all that just means is sitting more in our hands. Like I said, slowest week we've had in a long time. Not a lot we can do, but we'll wait to see if this kind of presents itself. We are in a really good and strong point on the daily. We can go and have a look. Like I said, they're the two options. This point shouldn't hold given what we've taken, but this is a strong point. So retracement into a daily point now, looking for that sell-off, coming to target that liquidity, and realistically fill this imbalance. This is a really strong imbalance. I think now we've pushed under this area, I'm looking to fill this imbalance, and I would rather sell given where we are. So sells, I think, are the more or less the go today. I'll update you guys if we get some structure that I can work with, but at the moment there's just not a lot to kind of work with. USDCAD has sold off like I said it would yesterday. Did take some 15-minute highs really late into New York last night. Nothing we can work with. Very sideways price action. Needed to induce something. Yeah, not a lot to work with here. Buying does excite me, but there's just no way to necessarily get in. So that's off the cards for me again today. And then gold is just making high highs. And I just will not be in a market that's involved like that. This will take a bit of a sell-off. it's just a matter of time. So I'll keep you guys updated. Any questions, like always, chuck them in the comments, and we will go from here.